Hi, I'm Glenn, City of Island Fishing, COA Field Team, and this round, it's March 16, a Monday, and this round, learning to fish by our trials and errors, we're talking about finding white bass during the spawning run. Well, let's go and put things in perspective. Back in the day, when we were first starting out, we're back in South Texas, Nueces River. The way we found them back then was you drove by the boat ramp, over there just off, I forgot the road now. But you see a bunch of trucks, trailers, and boats and whatnot, and people fishing, and that told us time to go put the John boat in and basically go for some white bass. Locally, it's called sand bass up here in the North Texas area. Growing up South Texas, we call them white bass. Regardless, they're fish. And that's what's spawning currently. Back in the day, we would just put the John boat in and head upstream, put a Johnson Minnow on, and basically troll, little 2-horsepower motor, and just keep trolling upstream until we got a strike. And if we got a strike, then we start casting and hopefully got a few. Else we just keep going, and usually around a sandy, shallow area, we start getting some hits. And then sometimes even get out and do some casting for them. And so that's how we were doing it back in the day. Back in the day, drive by the boat ramp, back at the Nueces, see lots of cars, trucks, and trailers, and oh, by the way, put the John boat in and put the 2-horsepower motor on and troll upstream with that Johnson Minnow. And we're saying flatlining because we're not just casting the line out and just extending the line until you got it to a good enough depth, and sometimes you'd slow down, speed up, and just see what happened. And hopefully you got a bite. Okay, so that's how we did it back in the day. So how will we do it nowadays? Well, nowadays we don't fish the white bass run or the sand bass run. Instead, we just wait till warmer weather, head out to the lake, do some kayak fishing, trolling, using some slab and jig rigs, as well as some multiple jigs using the sabiki style setup that we have. And we've got some video on that posted on our channel. And so that's what we do nowadays. But if we decided to go look for the white bass in our local area, in this case Dallas-Fort Worth, here's what we do. So how would we do this? Well, easy way out, go hire a guide. There's some that are in the area that we'd recommend. One of their ones that we see all the time is Kerry Thorne. He's got also AKA Tarpon Fly on Texas Fishing Forum, and he can get you into some nice white bass or sandies. Be it over there at the local rivers and whatnot. So that's the easy way. Other things to do, if you don't want to do that, we call it online scouting. And what do we mean by that? Check out YouTube. Check out Texas Fishing Forum. There's a fishing forum that they have on their website as well as on Facebook. You got fishing groups to include the Texas Fishing Forum, to include Lake Lavon fishing here local, as well as the Texas Fly Fishing Group. That's one that we follow, and we'll just kind of play along and see what we see out there. So how would we do this? So in the first case, we go here in the window, go into YouTube. You got white bass fishing Texas. Type that in there, and boom, you get this. If you type the same thing for sand bass fishing Texas, you'll get the same view. One other thing that we'll do then is we'll filter, take it to this year or this month. Alrighty. And that'll show us what's been happening here in 2020. So, and some of the key things that's telling us is right off the bat, looks like there's white bass hitting the creeks right now. You've got some over here that Barfly posted. I think it was a Denton Creek or a creek in the Denton area. You got some other places from Kid Crappie who's talking about some fishing as well. And then locally, Rowlett Creek seems to be a producer every year. So that's what we do online, just to confirm that the white bass are running. Again, how you do it, sand bass fishing Texas or white bass fishing Texas, filter on this month, this year, just to get you the latest and greatest. So here's some more. Rowlett Creek again. Here's something in Granger, but I think that's not in our area. But it's good to see that this time of year you're starting to see some videos being posted. And so that's some of the online scouting techniques we'd say, in this case when you're using YouTube. And the key there is that filter, making sure that you're having the latest information being posted, because there's some past videos that'll be out there, and of course those are overcome by events, OBE. So go ahead and skip that and see if you can get something local, get you an idea that the white bass are running. And then the other thing is Texas Fishing Forum. We'll look at the bank fishing threads and see what posts are there. You can see Lake Lavon, Hot Gates, hybrid action. So there's a good one there to keep in mind. There's the Rally Sand Bass and hybrid run. That's been around for a while, and always good to check that out. Additionally, if you go to specifically the whites, hybrids, and striper section, you can get a good idea here what's hidden. All right. So online scouting is going to be key, is to take a look at these things, as well as Facebook. That's always a good one. So Texas freshwater fly fishing is one that we'll take a look at. You can search here by specifically putting it in the Facebook search window. Additionally, you can just go browse through and see what's happening. Additionally, you can go ahead and type in white bass, and that'll also take you there and give you an idea what's out there. The other thing is you can go to Lake Lavon fishing. That's local. We're talking local here. You'll get some good information there. You can see that, one, there's some water level information. There's some folks putting some little funny things there. The crappie bite happening, as well as you'll see some bass. Here's a good one over here at Central Park, or Clear Lake Park, where a lot of folks are looking like they are getting ready to do some fishing, or have gone fishing, because they've got their trucks parked and boat trailers out, and they're out in the water. So this is good. Additionally, Texas Fishing Forum, as we mentioned earlier, this is always a good one to take a look at. And so this is that online scouting that we're talking about. And so take a look at there, and that'll give you an idea of some of the things that you could anticipate, at least when planning to go do some fishing. So YouTube, fishing forums, specifically Texas Fishing Forum, they've got their website as well as their blog, or correction, forum site. And then you got Facebook fishing groups. So one last piece that we mentioned is Google Earth. Okay, so Google Earth, that's one that we like using as well. So in this case, we typed in Rowlett Creek, and it came up with Rowlett Creek Preserve, and this took us to Castle Drive, specifically in the town of Garland, Texas. That's local to our area. We've been here before. We actually posted a video when we did some hiking that has some good, I guess, information as to how the trails and whatnot that you'll see there. But what we want to take away from this is, one, the parking area where you can go, as well as looking at some specifics. You can see that there's different places to start walking up the trail and looking for places to go fishing. This is as you go up here, similar like when we were trolling back in the day. You just start heading up. In this case, you're casting until you find a strike, or get a strike, as well as looking for some of those shallow areas. And then most likely there might be a lot of people too, so that might give you a hint as to some of the areas that they may be. Additionally, since white bass tend to congregate, we're starting to get shallow when they're spawning. Start looking for those shallow areas, and also it's look for those shallow as well as some of those pools. So here's one that you want to kind of take a look at right here. Let's see if we can get it right here. There's a nice little shallow spot that looks like. So you start heading up there. There's a bridge. I think when we were over here before, there was some fish being caught here as well. And as you just work your way up, and some of the good things that you can see about here is you can see some of the feeder creeks that are feeding in here, potential shallow areas, bends. So those are some good giveaways as to where the white bass may be congregating. And just keep going. Here's some more shallow areas. You can see how you can access it. It's got some high banks here, is what we've also noticed, specifically in this case. But that's Google Earth. It gives you a good idea. Let's see. Keep going. I think I recall. Let's see if I can take us all the way to the gun range. Yeah, here we go. Here's the gun range. So this area, you could catch some fish here. We've heard. Unfortunately, there is a gun range here. Actually, I've been there before, and it's a pretty good one. Just when you look for those shallow areas and work your way through. I've heard some folks making it all the way up to the gun range area and fishing, as well as moving forward. I'm not sure how much the construction has changed since over the years. There's been a lot of construction, but that's how we would use Google Earth. So find a place where you park, find those shallow areas, give an idea how far you got to walk in this case, or other cases, if you do have a boat, maybe you can kayak it up there, go find those shallow areas as well. Alrighty, so that's how we would do this. Okay, so if we had to do this, again, YouTube, type in your search window, white bass fishing Texas or sand bass fishing Texas, filter on the year 2020 or that month, the week, give you the latest and greatest, see what information's out there, latest information from the bass run or white bass run, as well as if maybe things are changing on you. Additionally, fishing forums, the Texas Fishing Forum, that specific forum that they have their own site, as well as on Facebook, you got those fishing groups. And then, of course, you can always do it old school, just drive by and you see a bunch of cars, just like we used to back on the Nueces. Go ahead and start fishing. Alrighty, so thanks for joining us this evening, and do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Select the bell notification, because, oh, by the way, we'll be definitely posting more videos throughout 2020, and hopefully we can get at least learn to fish by our trials and errors. And, oh, by the way, like the other day when we went out to Trinity for the TRWD trout stocking, even though they canceled it, you could see that we definitely had some trials that day. But bottom line, do check back, because we'll definitely get some more videos out in 2020. All right, next time we'll catch y'all later. Good luck and good fishing.